see where a bunch of coaches picked up to be number one. With Duke getting what they got, how could you?
We're talking about football.
Oh, football.
We don't count.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Did everyone have a chance to read the minutes from last week?
I looked over, Mr. Chairman, and I didn't see no additions or corrections.
I didn't either, so do I hear a motion to accept?
I so move.
And I'll second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
Not getting technical, but I think you got abstained because you wasn't here.
No, I wasn't here, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
Okay, well, it ain't no big deal. Whatever.
It passed either way.
Okay, Commissioner comments and committee reports. Jack, did you have any?
Well, I got an email from, you guys probably did too, from Les Lantern. He just received a Kansas Emergency Management Association certified, became certified, which is, I think, a pretty big deal, on August 7th. So Wes receives that honor. I think that's a cool deal.
Good to hear.
That's all I have.
Did you have anything?
I have a juvenile corrections Thursday afternoon, 11.
Okay. I have had a sales tax committee meeting last Tuesday night. Lots of discussion. Went good first half. Second half kind of devolved a little bit, but we're going to be trying to work with the Attorney General's office and kind of come up with some way of like a mediator or something there, and maybe try to have an impartial third party that can do some suggestions and maybe work on that. So that's where that's headed. Okay. New business before the board.
A comment?
Well, do we want that? Yeah, we can do that first.
Well, one's public comment. So.
But well, it was up here before he walked in, so that's the reason I went by it. So.
Other comments.
Go ahead.
Hi there.
Hello.
How are you all today? I'm here to present you with some petitions concerning the possible decision that you all may make in regard to the nursing home for the county. We have about 266 petitions or signatures. About 127 of them appear to be county, and about the balance appear to be city, basically by simply looking at the addresses provided. You'll see on here there are a few signatures from non-citizens in Atchison County, so that did indicate their addresses. I don't know whether you just present this to you.
Okay.
And basically they're concerned about the possible decision that you're all to make. And I just came to speak a little bit. I'm somewhat conflicted on this. I'm sure you know I have some other responsibilities that I do.
Sir, I don't know you. What's your name?
My name is Herb Waltney. I'm sorry. Atchison, I live in the city.
Okay.
And I have been involved as a part of a public body in a decision that we made to privatize, in this case, the bus service for USD 409. And this is, I know, a difficult decision for you all to make, and there's lots of things for you to think about what you do in terms of privatization. That particular thing has worked well for us, and there were some things there that we did and some things that we looked at that I think are important to consider. And I don't know whether you consider them or not, but obviously there are apparently some concerns about the decision. And I attempted to visit also with a few people that have some experience in administering nursing homes, and they provided me some information. So I'm here to share that with you if you're interested in that information. If you're not, that's fine too. I'm also here as I'm also the silver-haired legislator representing this particular county. If you're not familiar with that particular group, we meet once a year. We're set up as a Great Society program by the federal government, also supported by the state legislature. We meet yearly for 2 days, and we essentially pass a series of laws as a mock House of Representatives and then attempt to influence the legislature. So I'm concerned about these as they impact seniors in the community of Atchison County, and there are a number of them that I've talked to that are concerned about possible impact of whether or not this will be available to them and at what cost. So I'm not saying anything about what you, and I'm sure you're looking at that in terms of a possible decision there. So I am providing you a couple of pieces of information in a short time. First of all, I think one of the things that I know that you're aware of, and maybe you are, but there was a negotiated rate on reimbursement, and nonprofit nursing homes receive a special rate that's somewhere around 5%, and there's another agency in the community that is receiving a lower rate. So the impact of that, is my understanding, is that they're allowed to charge about 5% less on the bills. Now, I'm not sure what the amount is, but it was a person who had been an administrator of a nursing home, private nursing home. So I didn't know if you had that information or not. So whether or not you want to look at that or not, that may be some of the concern that I guess everybody's worried about this. And having had a mother that was part of it, a nursing home situation, cost and availability and those kinds of things are important. And I know several of you that I know that you had it or are currently having to deal with it, the loved one, and it's an emotional issue. So the second thing was suggestion maybe to do some accounting things was also a suggestion. So I know this is a difficult situation for you, but I just want to provide you with that information and ask that you at least consider and think about whatever the decisions are. So
Yes,
I guess
sir.
if you have any questions for me.
What does accounting changes? What does
Well,
that mean?
there's apparently some things that you can put off, that you can put on another budget that will enable this to be more effective, so you will have recoup more, reduce your costs. That's the way it was explained to me. Okay, so I don't, like I say, I have no idea what you're doing, because believe me, I serve on a public body, guys, and I know this is, and I have issues that I have to deal with. So I come with this, with the idea is I'm not going to try to slime you, and I'm going to go out and do those things because you have tough decisions to make, gentlemen. I understand that, and I just want to provide you with some feedback or information about what I gleaned, because, and then I feel responsible as the silver-haired legislature to come, because I've had several people that I represent everybody in Atchison County, but obviously those senior citizens are the ones that are coming to me, and this is creating some stress. They're worried about the cost, what's going to happen with the quality of the care. And as I tried to explain them, I said, I'm sure that you guys are all looking at that, and is this going to be a better situation for the people of Atchison County? And so that's an important thing to consider. So since I did sign the petition, that I'm essentially, in my perception right now, I see, I'm not sure why you're actually thinking about doing this. So I don't know that you're right or wrong, because believe me, I appreciate, as the president of the board, 409, that you guys worked with us on the juvenile thing, and that's been a great thing for us, and I truly appreciate that. So I don't want to come in here and start, throwing hand grenades in the room. That's not why I'm here, okay?
So Herb, how many signatures are here?
There are 267.
And that's the same petition that there was 250.
That's the one I brought today.
So there's over 500 people have signed the petition.
No, 267 total.
Yeah, but I thought there was 250 the other day.
Oh, I think there was 250 the other day. Yeah,
It's over 500.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I was asked to kind of come and speak about that as a representative. So yeah, it's over 500, and as I understand it, and simply, I wanted also an opportunity to come and say thank you from QSD 409. We appreciate your work. So
And we did receive a letter today from Sue. We did receive a
I
letter.
knew we were sending
Yes.
one. I didn't know if it was super or not. So if there's anything else, I can.
Anything? Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much.
Herb.
If we're still in public comment, we want to. Do you have something for us?
Same problem I've had for almost 2 months now. In a week, it'll be 2 months, and that tube being put in down there on that road.
Yeah, we were dealing with that this morning. The company was not making that tube, and we had to change. We're going to have a change, basically a change order to get a tube from a different company that would not.
What size tube are they putting in? And they're 6-foot tube out there every damn dump? Huh?
Not one I'll put that side.
It ain't a 6-foot tube out there?
An 8-foot tube that's going in on 6 foot.
They're putting in an 8 tube?
An 8-foot tube that's going in, that's 96 inches.
We should talk in front of the camera.
Yeah. Do you want to come on up? If you're going to. Where the camera's not going to pick this up, so it's going to.
I just, it don't take me that long to get a tube. I mean, I got a tube out 2 days, it's back in. I mean, I have to hire somebody to do it. But I mean, I don't know how come nobody's been hired to put this one in. What are we waiting on? I mean, the tube should have been ordered the first week the tube went out.
Tube was ordered when, and they said it was going to be here.
10 days.
10 days to 2 weeks, I was told that it would be put in.
Yeah.
Well, 2 weeks is up.
Ordered 2 weeks after it was supposed to be delivered. Didn't happen. These are 8-foot tubes. They don't
Yeah, but
take
this
every
tube
day.
wasn't ordered till a month later, after the thing went out.
Well, it
That's
takes
what
a
I
little
don't
bit of a process.
understand.
Yeah, I have to have approval from the commission. You have to have size.
Well, it should have been a top priority to get the road back open. I mean, I get calls from the county, you need to check your roads. I mean, there's several places. Tubes need to be fixed. Riprap's washed out of them, holes, brush in front of them. But it looks like nothing happens down that way. I mean, I caught you working on a Friday and the other guys were off and you was fixing, putting riprap in. I mean, I appreciate that. But it's the fact that, it seems like we're in the gloom down there. The mailman has to go around, the railroad has to go around, we have to go around, the farmers have to go all the way around. I mean, 2 months is a little,
I'm doing all I can to get material in. That's all I can say.
I mean, I don't know if we got the
Tube not
manpower to do it. I see asphalt trucks running by 3 or 4 times a day.
When we're doing asphalt, everybody's pretty much hands on deck to get that done. So, I mean, that's.
Well, then, now comes a private firm can't go down there and put the tube in. Take a couple hours.
It's not budgeted for that. I have to follow a strict budget, and it's not budgeted to hire a contractor to do that.
We're not budgeted for it either, but it's something that has to be done. I mean, what would I have done with Brooks Road when the tube went out? If I'd have let it go for 2 months. I mean, there's a guy who runs a business up there. And then another problem is I was sitting here at the meeting when Mount Pleasant was here, and there was not supposed to put any gates put on that road. We've gone through 3 FEMAs, and that road could have been fixed, and they could come through from the other way, both ways. Now there's gates on both ends of that Brooks Road, and that road's not closed.
I have no idea.
Dolores brought that up and said she was going to do it, and I said, well, you do what you want, but I would not advise.
I thought that was something that was county. Or, I mean, if that's township, I mean, they're doing that on their own volition. I mean, we can't.
I mean, they're related to them. Nobody wants, no, they don't want nobody back in there. There's a little water crossing back here that belongs to the county. I mean, I told her, you know, you guys went through 3 FEMAs. How come the road wasn't fixed? You know? But, you know, and then they got a cemetery road down there off of 234. That road got taken care of. I thought all cemeteries had to be able to get to them. Can't get to that one.
That's the township road again.
Yeah.
I mean, we can't address that here. I mean,
I don't know why they get money, I'm sure, budgeted in for that cemetery for somebody to take care of it. We've got 2 of them.
Getting back to the tube issue, I'll kind of agree with both of you. I think it has lingered on longer than it should. We just found out about the tube a week ago. They should have been up front right off the get-go. So that's going to stall it out, but it has gone on too long.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
So when was the rain event?
July the 7th, 10th?
What's that?
We got that big rain.
July 1st.
July 1st.
Okay, so that is in 60 days.
it's been 30,
He said 2
50
months.
days. Yeah, 50 days.
That
The
was Saturday,
PO's there
Saturday
for the
night.
day we ordered or approved it.
This is the one that we approved.
That would have been the date we approved to order.
Approved it on 7/24. And do you have a PO for the?
Oh, I didn't bring a new one. I just figured we could use the same and then
Okay, and then this is the one on the back that we will. Okay.
Okay, now this company said they'd have it in.
they said they'd put it into the plant to process this week to hopefully have it made this week. It sounds like they're making that size of culvert right now,
So then we gotta, well, how long will it be to get it here? A week?
I was hoping maybe they deliver it Thursday or Friday if they have it made, you know, tomorrow or Thursday, and they can deliver it Friday. The soonest we probably put it in is next week. So the day it comes in is the day we'll install it. If not, if it comes in late afternoon, we'll do it the next morning. But I'll take a day off asphalt so that too can go in. That'll be half a day, if not 3/4 day project for us to haul. That's a lot of material to fill. So
How much will have to be hauled in? I mean, how much left? I mean, didn't the tube and dirt all leave, didn't it?
yes,
From
it'll
what
be
I saw.
all of the fill material around it. So I don't know how many tons of rock that will be, but it'll be quite a bit.
I didn't know if you had to haul in dirt or
All rock.
Small rock, big rock?
This AB3.
Oh,
So and it's a long ways down there, so a lot of trucking time.
While we're talking about this, do we want to act on this, the tube thing right now, or do we want to?
well, yeah, we gotta get the tube ordered.
So we'll act on this right now, and it was brought to our attention this morning that the tube that we had authorized was not being made by the company, so it was discussed that we would rescind that order for the tube from Metal Culverts Inc., and that was going to be an amount of $5,018. And we want to, do we have to do that in 2 motions? Rescind this one and then approve the other?
I
Or?
think you could do it in one.
Okay, if we, in one motion, would someone want to rescind that and approve purchase order for Wellborn Sales Inc. in the amount of $5,516?
So moved.
A second, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passed 3-0. Now, do we have the,
I'll just
make
I'll
a
have
new
another
PO?
one made. I'll have another one made up.
Okay.
And there to Michelle.
Want this to be your
If he's gonna run into Michelle, then
I thought maybe you needed something for your minutes.
I'll just messenger.
Okay.
So hopefully,
Early next week.
To the next week, I hope.
They're always calling me.
I've been getting.
Yeah.
I've been getting.
And I know that's difficult to be in the middle, so.
But did they tell you how much water came down all through there?
Yep. That's where I
It's the
signed
same
the
700 acres?
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Hopefully we don't get no more rains like that.
Sure hope.
Seemed like we've had several of those big rains in the last couple of years down in that
The
area.
last 8 days, I've got 6.8 tenths.
We had 2.5 the other night. We left.
I had
Just got back from Oklahoma.
3.2, and then Sunday, and then we had 2 tenths Monday, and then we had 3 something like a week before that on a Saturday or Sunday.
We had more rain Monday.
2 tenths.
Really? Right. Well, I can tell them that then. Yeah.
I will say this: I went down there to check on it, and from the low water crossing the township road, you got it cut, you got it sprayed. It looks good.
But that one low water crossing,
That needs some attention on that.
there's a hole.
Yes, I told you. I think that's where maybe the tube come apart and there's a hole in the tube, but that needs some concrete. Yeah.
And then the big tube that goes back towards Dave, a lot of that riprap just fell off.
I haven't been back up there. Right there at the
Right
T.
there at the intersection.
Yeah.
That road's a mess every time it rains. You know,
That's
I
that
spend a
drains
lot of
quite a
time
bit, too.
trying to fix that road. It's just a rock ledge. You know, that's nothing you can do is put more in.
Okay.
All righty, guys. Thank you.
Uh-huh. Okay, Seth, you want to continue while you're up here, or start? I guess.
I think you guys have the, the utility agreement and all that.
Okay.
The only other thing I have is executive session.
You okay that?
Well,
You
yeah,
too.
it's, we collaboratively prepared. There's 2 things there. One is the resolution and the other is the permit application. And we don't have anything now. This is about as simple.
All I've got is the permit. I've got one thing here,
And I have the resolution as well
Okay.
to
the
adopt.
Right, but the permit application isn't really to be adopted. It's the resolution, but the language is very, very similar.
Okay, so we need to act on this first, the resolution?
Yes, and that's to be considered. If there are questions or if
I'll read just the resolution title here. Resolution number 2018-1441, a resolution of the Board of County Commissioners of Atchison County, Kansas, adopting policies and procedures for the construction and maintenance of improvements in the county right-of-way and adopting a procedure by which utilities may acquire permission for use of county right-of-way.
I move to adopt.
I second it, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded to adopt. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passed 3-0.
Did we put something in there about locating lines if we have to?
No, we didn't, and there also is not, there's nothing in there regarding fees as well. Those are considerations that could be talked about and could be added, but those weren't part of what I.
Shouldn't those been in here before we sign off on this?
I wasn't really given much in the way of direction other than saying that I think you should have some process available. I would welcome any input. I didn't send it to the commissioners. I should have. I sent it to the collaboration was between Seth and I and Roger. But yeah, those are all things to consider, and I think it's something you're going to see with more frequency.
I believe we discussed the thing about last week about the location wire or whatever, and it was kind of, I thought, left unanswered or maybe unanswerable because all the lines that are here already, most of them do not have that. So only the addition would have it. So I think if we were starting from scratch, I would definitely want it where all lines were locatable. But I think after the discussion, the way I remember it was that we just kind of left it alone.
The only line I believe that would not be locatable is the water line. I think everybody else runs their tracer wires with them.
Yeah, and I think it was
Yes.
water lines that we were pretty much talking about.
A lot of water lines didn't get too far off that road. Either down our way, there's more.
Right in the middle of the road.
Yeah, 2
Correct.
feet off.
And the only way they'll ever trace them is if they ever dig them up. And so, I mean, other than that, every
I
other
don't know.
utility locates and they
Line
can
locator
trace.
that doesn't charge if they can locate it if we need to be.
Everything we get located is free of charge. And they're willing to meet us on the site while we're digging. I mean, I've never been charged for a line locate. So, I mean, it's the 811, everything's free. It's, and what was your other concern?
Well, my concern was, being from the electric side, we had to put it in there if we had to, if a road had to be moved, they had to pay for, but now the shoe's on the other foot and I want it just the opposite. If we have a road and there's a line there and we change the course of the road, it's at the utility's expense.
More times than not, I've never ran into this issue when we've done bridge projects. They've always been more than willing at no charge. I do know CenturyLink has a 500 or 1,000 foot. If they have to move it more than that amount, then there is possible fees. But normally, none of our projects are to that extent. So,
You're fine. As long as
but no, I understand where you're coming from. I wouldn't want to be charged for moving an electrical line or a fiber line if need be. So,
Yeah, when you get into fibers where you're getting into road
I think the only fiber line that I'm aware of is right along the railroad tracks, and they did that illegally.
well, there's multiple fibers throughout. We just actually at County Lake Bridge, they had to move. Rainbow had to move a fiber line for us at no charge. Had no problem doing it. So this fiber line was only nickel size, but
along the railroad track like that.
correct. And there was a few of those down our main stretches of road. So I would say, but at least we have. And I believe I'm right. This could change throughout. You know when we find things. I mean, I get you want it done right the first time, but as we proceed with updates and how utilities make changes, we will have to continue to update this throughout the years because there is a lot of underground boring things that are going on now. And so,
Okay.
Do you want that or Michelle get this?
he can put it in that folder. It's
Okay.
absolutely fine.
Okay, now, do we need to act on the actual permit application?
No,
Okay, so what do we, is that just,
that's just really FYI. So the language that's in the application is contained in the resolution.
oh, okay.
So, but rather
I've
than
got 2
hand
copies of
a
these.
resolution to the utility company, made more sense to have a summary in the form of that resolution.
could you email me a copy of that agreement or the application
Yes.
so I can get that over to the Westar Crown Clan?
Yes.
Okay, did you get a PO created
Oh.
that Michelle just brought in?
Here's a copy of the resolution for you.
Yeah, keep it here. Just put that in there.
We're getting on the short end of the budget year. How do you think your budget's going to look? It'll be all right.
Right now we're looking.
Maintenance, you said, was close. Or
Maintenance is going to be the one that goes over a little bit, but we'll see how road material comes in because that pertains to salt and sand. So right now I think we're doing all right on salt and sand prices, so that might actually save us.
And did you say that, like, say we went in with the city and did one contract, we wouldn't save very little, or
They basically said no matter how much we order, it would still be the same.
when the Corey was in earlier and had workshop. The contract's working out pretty good fuel wise, because it's what, 80 cents over what we paid.
Yep.
Are
So
we
we,
gonna be all right on fuel? Or?
yeah, we're doing great on fuel. We did go ahead and put a full tank out in Effingham for them to utilize. So hopefully that helps save them a lot of money from the pump that they've been using out
Well,
there.
yeah, he said 206 to what, 282 at Jackson, or we had delivered.
So we're hoping that'll help out and works out fine. So. Other than that, I need executive sessions. Is the only thing I have left.
I'm gonna scan that in and put it on
You
into
got a
executive.
template, or do you know what?
It's the attorney client.
Yeah, that. How long?
Minutes.
Commissioner Bauer moved that the county commissioner recess an executive session at 1:37 p.m. for the consultation with an attorney for the public body, which would be deemed privileged to the attorney-client relationship as allowed by K.S.A. 75-431B. 4319, parentheses B, parentheses 2, for the purpose of the closed session to protect the confidentiality of discussion, and the board will come out of executive session at 1:55 p.m. in the commissioner room, first floor. Those present will be county councilor, 3 county commissioners, and Seth Howard.
I've got a time correction on that. You had said 1:37. It was 1:31. So
Okay.
if those times accordingly,
1:31.
going in 20 minutes later. 1:51. 1:51. Do I hear a second?
A second.
That's correct. It's been moved and seconded. All in favor, say aye.
We're going
Aye.
for 20 minutes. You got something right quick?
No, I was, they haven't done that yet, have they? It's already done? Okay, take care of it. Alright, then I'm out of here.
Okay.
Thank you, Roger.
Sorry.
Sorry, the mouse is not working.
Need a hammer?
Tear it up.
Thank you, Seth.
I'm fine with it. I haven't read it. The next 3 are the ones in the prosecuting sign.
This is the one that.
That's the little water crossing right there. That's the line. And then this is another box structure that's in the prosecuting
I
design.
guess he done did his
Bottom
thing. We
three
kind of
are
jumped over.
Part of the other 3 options.
Well, I'm
that we
still
can
back
select.
here. I started in a new business and then we went back to public comment. And so I'm going to start back here.
Old run finished or new? I think we
The
don't
new,
have
I mentioned new, and then it was brought up that somebody come in after the public.
I think
we haven't done the
it was
public
still
comment.
like, it was only 105.
Huh?
I think it's the time.
Yeah, we're on.
I think it was only 105. That's what it was.
Yeah.
I gave you back your
We're
keyboard,
on
by the way.
110. I think we're to the end.
Well, this was.
We have people
this
come in all
was
the time.
680.
Okay. Well,
Well, so we do that.
that was fine.
Yeah, like 3 cleanup on that. I've got to throw
So,
It works. Okay.
It
okay.
has to be.
Are you?
Yeah, that's all I had, I believe.
Okay.
Get that tube ordered.
I am going to call some to look at it.
Hey, hustle it in here, whatever you gotta do. I don't want to spend another Monday like this.
Thank you, Seth.
Thank you.
Okay. Was there any other new business about old business or unfinished business before the board?
Seemed like we get hot and cold. I thought we was all ready for the 911 signs. We was gonna get some posts, and now that's dried up and blown away. Is there anything? Is Wes moving forward with that addressing?
I thought that was being ordered, and I thought that was going to be
Install this fall.
in the fall once because they're too busy now with roads. But I haven't really heard. You know, it's
I don't.
We might ask you for an update.
I don't recall having heard the signs were ordered, but they may be.
on that.
I can't think of anything right now.
Next thing on the agenda is the Capital One Public Funding Commitment Letter.
You had a chance to
This
review it?
is, oh yeah, yes, this is in conjunction with the general obligation bond resolution. So they sort of, they dovetail together, but this is the, Capital One is the proposed purchaser of the bonds, and that's their proposal.
Did everybody have a chance to look at it? Or?
Yeah, I look at it, unless it's changes.
There hasn't been any changes to it, has it?
No, in
Okay.
fact, that's the same one that was in the folder last year.
Yeah.
Okay, do I hear a motion to allow me to sign off on financing or the general obligation bonds?
The only question I have before I vote is, that specifies 2 million. What if we need $1.8 million? Do we have to take that other 200,000, and where does
Yes,
that go?
because we take all of the money on the 30th, we close, and we had looked at the cost of doing the bond issue is more than the interest that you would save by doing it in two different issues. So if you don't spend it, you're
I guess my bottom line question is, okay, we got 200,000, all of a sudden we want another dump truck, or we want another
no, you
grader.
There's no budget authority for that.
you're
It has
limited.
to go to bridges.
It's limited only to bridges.
Okay,
Yes.
then I'm okay.
I move to adopt or allow the county chairman to sign off an agreement letter with
Capital One.
Capital One.
I second that, Mr. Chairman.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Passed 3-0.
I have these two to sign. It's the same thing that you have,
Okay, so
but
do we
Michelle
need it?
just has it tabbed for you.
Okay, I will sign all three, so we have this.
Okay.
All extra, yeah.
Put Joe down for next week. I'd like to hear about the Bat movie, and I'd like to hear about the air conditioning systems where we're at, and there was something else.
It sounded funny, Bill, I'm sorry.
Something else I wanted to talk to him about.
The bat move, you said?
Well, he's putting
Right.
a camera upstairs to see where the bats are coming in and out, and then where we're at on the air conditioning.
They're trying to get them before their first snow.
We'll get a hold of him to get him put on.
I think also there was something I was wanting to ask him about do we actually have an ADA coordinator? It was something that was in the last county comment from the K.S.A. He was talking about that was important to actually have someone that was in charge of all that. I know he's done it for us. I think he's acting in that capacity, but I don't know if we actually have an official.
Yeah, I was thinking that was Wes, because Wes brought up that AD booklet.
And
got
maybe
praised for doing it or something.
But when we had a couple years ago, or maybe it was just last year, when he done that appraisal of all of the ADA things, that was Joe that brought us that. So
Yeah,
I think it's just worth looking into. Since K.S.A. sent that out, and I was reading, and kind of like, I don't know if we actually are named in an official capacity to that. So
I have it all written down, so we'll get a hold of him for you.
Okay, the next thing is the resolution for general obligation bonds, series 2018. For the public, this is the bonding that we're doing for the bridges, 6 definite bridges, possibly another one if we have the funding for another one. It's going to Gilmore and Bill. And Pat, is there anything else that we need to apprise the public of, or that the board needs to know, or?
Well, it's a 35-page resolution. It is authorizing $2 million in borrowing funds for the purpose of constructing bridges or repairing or replacing bridges in the county. I think we talked about the terms of it, that you can't pay it off early during the first 5 years, but in the last, but you can after that. There's an amortization schedule that is part of the resolution that shows the last payment being made in October of 2028. So,
Did you see that?
Everything appears to me to be in order and consistent with other bond issues that I've seen and participated in. This is the authorizing resolution, and there will be, after this, the actual closing, which will be like signing the loan documents themselves, and that's slated for the 30th.
And who will sign those on behalf of the county?
The chairman.
I would move to approve the resolution with Gilmore and Bell for the bonds of $2 million for a road bridge for a bridge project for $2 million expenditures.
I would second that motion, and to let those watching that the way we did it in the past was we would just put like one bridge in a year, with the interest rate being what it is, and trying to get a jump on our bridges, which is a big problem. We thought this was a better way to go, and there's quite a bit of savings where we could get somebody in to build 6 bridges at one time versus one each year for 6 years, plus the additional cost of material going up. I would second that motion.
Okay, and my comment on that is already 1 bridge is complete, 2 are just about complete. We are going to have the use of these bridges immediately or next to immediately, so it's also, we string it out, we'd start the 6th bridge, in 6 years, we're going to be using these bridges all that time. So, where I don't like to go into debt, or not necessarily debt, but obligation, I am fully on board with this. So it's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Pass 3-0.
Would like a comment? Or?
Okay.
You guys made the comments for me.
Okay.
Thank you.
And then the resolution number is on the front page right there. It should be 2018-14-1440. Nope, on the
Yes, we didn't state that. 2018-1440. There's just 1 copy of this to sign.
yes.
I think they wanted multiple copies. Please stop by and talk to Michelle before you leave. I think they did want more than one.
I'll say that's what she gave me.
Do we need to sign that in open session, or can that be signed afterwards?
It can be signed afterwards.
Make more copy of this paper.
Do we only just need the signature page, or does it need to be an original?
Yeah, I could just print that.
How many copies are they wanting?
I'm not sure.
Because she said she has not received the packet that they normally send. that says that they would want 2 or 3, so I just texted her and let her know that you're also printing some things. So she might bring those over for us.
I'm just going to print 4 more, which would be a total of 5. That's got to be overkill because I think it was 3 the last time. But it won't hurt you guys to sign those.
She said she'll bring them over.
She'll bring them over.
So I'll let her know that you're printing 4.
Okay. Are you going to have any county councilor updates?
No.
And no more need for executive session? So wait for those.
I have something.
Oh, okay.
Is that the ASAF?
Yes. So maybe Pat has this instead, but I have the paperwork. The trust indenture for ASAF and 377 payable to Exchange Nash Bank for the first, second, third quarter payments. I'll just let you look at them.
Now, has this been sent to 377 and returned? Or?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, 377s is there as well.
Yes.
They're supposed to report this on a quarterly basis.
Yes, and did she not copy the reports with that? There was a request that was made, and the request had attached to it reports. Yeah.
But they haven't had a payment since fall of 2017. Is that correct?
Correct.
So we're behind. That's the reason we're talking about 3.
We're behind, but they haven't requested the payments either, and the contract is discretionary with you on making them.
Was some of that? Oh, I'm sorry.
I think it might make sense to talk about redoing the agreements or modifying them somewhat. Quarterly reports seems like maybe more than what you want or need, especially when almost all of the activity takes place over the second in the fall.
And our contract with Atchison K.S.A. It looks like the commission.
And whether that should be with the rec commission. The school is on they're on the state fiscal year, so July to June, and so probably needs to be more than once a year, but maybe twice a year would make some sense. And I don't know what you want to see in the reports. If there's something you want to see changed with the reports, or if what's in the current contract is acceptable. But I think we maybe ought to open that line of communication with ASAF to see if what their interest is in doing a modification, and with 377 as well. The funds are held by Exchange Bank, who's the trustee on the sales tax. And there's no, it's
longer than that.
It's authorized for as long until the bonds are paid off. Originally, that had been 10 years. There had been discussion about that being 10 years. What's in the original bond documents, however, is that it would go until it's authorized, I should say, up until the time that the bonds are paid off. And it is also discretionary with you. So you don't have to make the payment, although it's your land and you would need to do something with it. But there are funds there. There should be approaching $500,000 in the maintenance fund, which would be 10 years at the current pay, 10 years of maintenance, but that should be replenished every year if the sales tax revenues are more than the amount necessary for that year's payment, and they have been in recent years.
So, if we've got that much in reserve, at what point would you sunset the actual tax and then keep paying that that reserve out until it's done, or what happens, if you decide, I was thinking that it ended in 2023, but don't hold me to that. If you continue the sales tax until that point, you're still going to have a big residual. What happens to that?
Well, you can leave, that's up to you on what you direct, but I don't recall the exact, as they call it, a waterfall. The first thing that they make sure that they have enough cash on hand to pay the next annual payment. And then the second thing is $500,000 in the operating and reserve fund. And then it goes into, after that, if there are additional funds, it goes into a fund to pay the bonds off early.
Yeah, I thought we had the discussion to get a certain set amount, and when that meets that, then anything over that goes to pay it off early.
I think what we agreed was $500,000 in the maintenance reserve fund.
I think
So we have more money than, once the 500,000 is reached, then that money goes to pay off the bonds early.
Yes.
By the time we discussed that earlier, we wanted 500,000 because it had depleted itself from one reason or another. As it hit back up to the 500,000. And I also think that our vision was that when we get done with the sales tax sunsets, that they would at least have the 500,000 maintenance to keep themselves solvent for some period of time.
Well, which the maintenance was due to run out, and that's the reason we refinanced a year ago, and that's enabled us to keep the maintenance going.
And our sales tax is better.
Yeah, both. But the actual, it was scheduled to stop the maintenance out of that fund and just go directly to the payoff. But we have the extra funds being refinanced without, which I think is a great thing. It extended that out.
So you say 2023?
I'm thinking that's the date that was the.
So that started in 2003. No,
would be about right.
2013. I thought it was longer ago than that.
I thought it was supposed to be 2020.
That's eyesight 2020 works. But,
there was $263,903.34 in the maintenance and reserve fund in April, and I don't have a statement newer than that.
So it hasn't reached the 500,000.
It has not reached 500,000.
The question would be the Board of County Commissioners, at the end when it's paid off, could decide what they want to do with the property.
Yeah.
Do you want to give it to somebody else to deal with, or you want to sell it, or?
Well, I was just thinking of if there was a big residual there, since it is a dedicated sales tax, that can't be used for anything else.
No.
So
you have an agreement with Effingham that where we lease that property, and when it's over, it will revert
I
back
don't know if
to.
they're financially stable enough to take on that much.
yeah.
So the property is leased to Effingham and purchased to that Atchison.
Yes.
Yes.
But one of the things I would hope that if we ever sell it to somebody for $1, somewhere in the deed, it should stay alcohol free. I would hate to see that change.
The one in Atchison, I think, has to because they use 409 parking lot. Now, the one in Effingham
Is school property, it can't have alcohol. See, I think the one in Atchison can have alcohol on it because it's county property, but since they usually
sold on the ground,
it's sold on the grounds.
It cannot be brought in because they sell beer out there now, I believe.
Well,
Out where?
at the sports complex.
No, there's no alcohol.
They've talked about it.
No, it's a dry.
They talked about it.
They can only do it
It's a
out
dry
there.
facility.
Yeah, they would have to get a permit, but I think
right.
if they actually if they had a parking lot elsewhere and didn't use the 409's parking lot, they could allow carry in. So one of the problems with serving alcohol there was the people on school grounds carrying it in. So, which I have no axe to grind on either one of them. So, anyway, do I hear a motion to allow me to sign off on the maintenance fees to ASAF and District 377?
So moved, Mr. Chairman.
I second that motion.
It's been moved and seconded. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Passed 3-0.
So now, like we're giving them 3 payments at once because we're that far behind. Is that how I read that?
Yes. We're giving them 3/4.
Some of that I think was a little bit, maybe I'm wrong on that. It seemed like we were a little unsure when it came time.
But here in a month or two, we're going to open for another quarter.
Yeah,
Well, the contract reads that they get the money on a quarterly basis, but they have to send in this
Well,
report.
Mr. Ball said we've never got this spring's payment yet. He didn't go on to say last fall payments.
no. Yeah, Michelle's got good records on this and looked up. And
And October 17 is the last holiday.
Thank you.
okay, gentlemen, is that all of the business we have today?
I'm still waiting on those other papers, but I don't know if you need to sign those on camera or not.
It doesn't need to be. I'm gonna go check.
I moved to adjourn at 2:15.
What about signing those papers? He'd run over and see if
We
they're
could
ready.
sign them off camera.
Oh,
Is that correct, Pat?
Yeah, but we have to be in open session to sign off on those.
Well, we've already approved it. We just haven't signed the papers. So,
You signed some. You signed the one. You're just signing additional copies at this point.
So we can adjourn and sign them. And
That's
yes.
what Pat just said. Yes.
Okay, now I'll second that motion, Mr. Chairman.
it's been moved and seconded to adjourn. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? We're adjourned. Thank you.